camera. Welcome to the Last Titan talk show. Today we are talking about judging in battling. Let's just talk about just judging in general for the moment, and then we'll start focusing in on points. I think we need to address, obviously there are some very, very unqualified judges out there and some very, very dodgy decisions going on and a lot of buddy system. And it's got the most mates sort of things. I think we need to start talking about this and addressing it. And at the end of this, sort of come to a resolution of what we can do to make sure we've got good judges, good judgments, and so on and so forth. And, tell me your general thoughts on the online judging. Let's start with that.
Well, online judging is actually a lot different than, judging in person, for one. You don't have a crowd to sway any feeling. You don't have the personal connection while you're in the building. And it's hard to gauge exactly, their believability and their cadence, because they're standing or still. They're, you know what I mean? It's a very different kind of judge. I think a lot more of online is based off of preference and what they relate to, and just hearing what they're rapping, where it's a whole different ball game if you're recording, or not recording, but judging in person. I think King of the Dot kind of got I think they're kind of heading in the right direction, but they screwed up a lot of those battles through the first season. I also think, having even the Ultimate Madnesses or URL, Minnesota Luke. Okay, you guys familiar with him?
No.
Okay, Minnesota Luke was a judge for like the Ultimate Madness 2 and 3 for URL, and he's a battle rap historian. He knows the stats, he knows things like that, but he has nothing to do with trying to judge a battle because he doesn't know anything to look at. He just is going off of what he likes. You know what I mean? Which you can't do. You have to be a non-bias. You have to be smart with understanding and be relatable to a lot of things, and I think you have to understand bars, concepts, schemes, metaphors, wordplay. This is all things you have to take accountability for. So
I think that's where the scorecard come into this. I think that's where a lot more leagues are starting to use them. Thank God. Because that's the thing I've heard before, where people judge my battles and they don't even say shit. They're just like, oh yeah, the other thing, he come a little bit harder, or that, but they don't really break it down. They don't pick out any bars. They don't fucking structure. That's what I've had so many judgments like that, and I've been, yeah, I think the other guy just took it, like saying that. You think, well, break it down. Tell me what did I do good at? What did I not do good at? That's what I want. I don't mind, even if I lose the battle, even if they say, right, you lost it, I'm not bothered as long as they've done a structured breakdown. If they've done a structured breakdown and I've lost by whatever points on this, then I know that, okay, I need to work on that. If my opener was not good on that one, then I know for the next battle I need to make sure that my opener hits harder.
Well, perfect example of that too. I apologize for the background noise. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think a perfect example of that too is, let's take Real Deal for example for the first meeting that we had on the first round. Okay, if something doesn't catch someone's eye immediately, it's online. They're not going to pay attention. I think it's very important for your opening to be rememberable or to be engageful, because that's the only way you're going to keep someone's eyes on you. If I think you're boring from the get-go, I'm going to go do something else. You know what I mean? So your opening has to be rememberable. If you're online, that's how I look at it. I also think if you're going second online, it has a big part to do with it, because for one, like I said, people's attention span is not that long. They're going to remember the second person more. And if they like the second person, they're going to go with the second person every time. So
Go on, sorry, it's Carol.
No, no, I'm just saying. I mean, and that's the perspective that I'm getting is that if you're battling online, you almost have to work a little bit harder to keep people engaged. And that's why I was saying even the longer rounds, yeah, a 5 minute round in person and a 5 minute round online is totally two different time zones.
That's the thing. I've seen that before. When you get a long round, people are like, I lose
And that's why,
stopping all the way through. People lose interest online.
right? And that's the thing. If you're pumping all the way through, it's and especially if you're looking as a viewer, the viewer is going to think that it's getting monotonous because there's no breaks from crowd reactions. There's no pauses. So I think it's very important to break your round down into doing different types of things. And this is where I think battlers can maybe expand their horizons a little bit with how they're carrying themselves and try new things. I think this is the perfect place to do it. It's a perfect place for me to do it. I want to be able to try some new things. I even did with Flip a little bit. I was a lot more relaxed than you guys usually see me than I was. But the simple fact is Real Deal remembered me because I was entertaining and I had good bars. That's kind of why he gave the dub to me, I believe. Do you know what I mean? Which I was going for. I stuck out in his head that I was different and unorthodox.
That's
you know.
You need to try and take a different angle.
So I think it's that, and it's angles, and it's a lot of preference, man.
I feel it's a preference thing. It's like, so say when we get the score sheets of how you judge the battle.
Yeah.
Now that changes how you write. Because when I've got that score sheet, I'm like, fuck, I've got to go over these criteria. So even if I'm not a schemer, which I don't mind scheming, but then you've got to scheme because otherwise you ain't going to get schemed.
How many people are paying attention to the score sheet, though?
Because you've got some score on with a name flip. If your opponent ain't got a name that you can really flip to easy, you still got to try and work with it because you've got personals. Then they want the personal criteria. So if you're just going in there with that punching style, with no personals, you're going to lose from the criteria of the judging. So then when I used to do that, when I used to battle on like bars, I'd make sure that I covered all them criteria because that's how it's meant to be judged. And then come the judgment, they ain't even judged like that. Because personally, this is what a lot of them do, is people don't want to be judging battles. They say they do it. They're like, yeah, I'll judge, same as when they say they're battle. But then when they actually come down to putting their time and their energies and effort into it, they're like, I could be doing so much more with my time. Yeah? So they don't actually want to be there listening. First off, being a judge, you want to listen. Me as a judge, it's my job to pick up all that shit they're saying. If I don't understand what they're saying, I need to find out what it is. I need to go and look it up. Or I need to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just don't make sense with whatever they're saying. But I try my best. Like, if I judge a battle, I watch a battle 4 times at least. Sometimes I've watched them 5, 6, 7 times to make sure that if it's a close one, I'm picking everything up. What's the strongest bars? What's the biggest material? You know what I mean? What interlinks and all different things. And then you've got to try and take it with an overall perspective, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? But I do think there's definitely a problem with battle rap and judging, 100%. And I also believe it don't necessarily mean because you're a real good battler or a dope battler that you're going to be a good judge.
Yeah, I think you've got to take time. So there's lots of, I mean, like, no, you can just use Real Deal for the example. Like, you listen to it once, pretty much, and like, you know, I made a judgment off that.
He was getting his cash. That's all. Like, listen, let's be fair. The guy's got bookings here, there, everywhere.
No,
it's one of the things.
It wasn't like disrespectfully. What I'm trying to say is, like, online.
Alexa, shut off. Sorry, guys.
But online, you've got the beauty that you can rewatch it. It's not like a live event. Once it's done, it's done. You ain't gonna be able
no, let's just keep it what it is, though. Like, I really think Real Deal is just he's another guy like we are. I think if he would have had a better, and this is all up to us too. You know, as doing a league, if we're gonna have someone like that, we got to put top battle. You got to start it for the bank. You got to keep him interested. You want him to be like, holy, I want to watch the next battle.
He weren't interested.
No, I'm just saying it's just as important for us to place the battles in an order as such. Do you see what I'm saying?
like a heavy one,
Yeah.
less one, another dope one. So it's like keep that
You want to be able to keep that wavelength no matter how it is. You're going to be able to gauge how, like, if it was me doing a league for online, my most fire battle or my most explosive person I would put on first. I don't care if they're the main battle. I don't care if they're doesn't matter. I want to keep the guy, whoever's judging or I want to keep them engaged, you know? So however you can ride that wave into letting them, okay, let me see the next. Okay, let me see the next one. You know, that's exactly what you want. If they're wanting that, they're going to be more engaged into judging. If they're not getting that, just like he did, he's not going to break anything down. He's going to be like, "Yeah, well, I gave it to number 2 because I like blue." You know, like it doesn't.
There's definitely an onus as well. Yeah,
So, I mean, I really think that's some important things, not only for, you know, the judges to know, but for the league to know how to place it. It's the same with like putting out an EP on a track. You know, your song placement is very important. You know, it's things that you might not take into account at the time, but it does go a long way.
It does, to be honest with you, because I obviously have the responsibility with doing the card order. So at the first, I don't like a fight card. So you have your main events and your bigger fights, like they do on even like the Smack events and stuff. But even I understand what you're saying, that's live. You've got the audience and the natural atmosphere to keep everybody occupied.
Exactly.
So get them straight away with a big battle like first. Are definitely different, taking into account. This card now, even that last card, we did have quite a few pullouts and stuff. There was only a few stinkers, and them stinkers made the whole card look bad for what it was. Like there was average guys, and there was some good guys, and then there was a couple of stinkers. But them stinkers, like they ain't matched on this card.
Well, no, absolutely. And the thing is if these like so to say stinkers, you know, turn in their round, okay, great, man. It's just not going to. Yeah, I would say it's not going to cut it. You're going to go on the Kitty channel.
I didn't review none of the footage, bro, because I wanted to be able to watch it live with the event. But now looking back, I wish I did because I wanted to put the battles for him to review. So like this time, what I'd say then is, so if we get the big name judges, because obviously they've only got so much time as well. So look. We're only going to pick, say there's 20 matches, we're only going to pick 14 matches to get viewed. So then that way it gives people more incentive to make sure they come dope or stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know. There's ways we can always go across.
And I'm saying the other battles still get dropped, but focus on your
page.
Exact. Yeah, you know.
But they don't get the reviews from the big name judges because obviously it ain't a good look when we got judges.
No, I think that's it. I think that's a great idea.
No, but if you don't give
I'll slap the shit out of him in any battle. Listen, I like it, yeah. I thought it was
well, no, you know what?
Shit.
How about
when
this?
When I see the cringe moments, I was dying inside. But now
well, no, Benny, I was even going to say this.
He was like that.
If we have a bigger name to judge and do the reviews, okay, maybe they don't get that, but maybe throughout the league, you know, we can review to help them get better, okay? To help them with whatever they need, because that's the whole thing. If we want people to stay and grow, we're gonna have to show some kind of initiative for them to stay as well.
Yeah, trying to help them and stuff. That's what I was thinking when people like stick to it. We can do like team things where you can have like when we got the experienced guys that are getting on the big platform stages, like with the UFC when they do the house fighter thing, you could do like a little competition thing where they take less experienced guys under their wing and choose who they match up against and battle and shit like that. I remember before we was talking about it when we was back in the bars. And I still think shit like that's a crazy idea. But that's a big part of it to me is helping the development. I don't never want anybody to be looking down and be like, oh, they're trash or this and that. I know people, that's how battle rap is. When I got into it, that's sort of what made me change as well. Like, it made me become a troll first and foremost. But I was literally a novice and everybody's like, you're trash. And I was listening to these motherfuckers thinking, I am trash, but you're even trasher because you've been doing this shit for years and you're shit.
And that's why I kind of think. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and then, bro, like I was literally chasing a whole fucking league for a year, and I'm a rookie. I'm calling out there fucking everybody, and these punks were scared. I wasn't even in fighting shape. I wasn't even in condition. I wasn't even prepared to fight. But just because I had that Conor McGregor mentality, I'm coming over here to fuck everything up. I see what I see with that big fucking flag and stars.
People usually hate people who come in the league like that. People usually despise.
Oh yeah,
I'm
always
because
hating.
90% of those people just fall off and don't do shit, or usually are trash. And so it's a fine line in how you get people to believe. A certain kind of confidence you have to have so the people to get somebody to bite.
I just let them hear the bars.
But no, but
I was gonna say, in a way though, I don't even think that you can actually cap like a probationary period on people either. I think it's just more of a feel it out thing. Like you're gonna know whether the guy's gonna make it or if he's or if he's gonna try to improve by the way he's responding to you or whatever, and then you make the decision from there. Like, hey man, we'll have tryouts next year. I don't know, like.
So you paired up with somebody else who has potential, and then you see who brings the separation between the two. Then you know who to focus on and help to develop them. And that's not most leagues don't have artists development. They don't do that shit.
That's why I think. I mean, I would love to do something like that, but also at the same time hold a status to where we're sitting at. Like you have to be here, or whatever to be a roster jump or whatever it may be, because when it goes to come time when we have other, cards or other leagues that want to do league versus league, or they're happen to become live, like Benny, when you come out to the States, tight, when you guys come out here or we go out there, I mean, there's going to be some live shit going down, I would think, within the next year or two, you know what I mean? So that's something I think we just want to get everybody prepared for. Like, this is not going to be just like this. It's going to grow, into something a little bit more. So put the time in now and get ready, because the stage is a lot different than the online.
Yeah, I haven't done the stage yet. Is the thing. I've done my only equivalent to it, I suppose. I've done like the live gauntlets where I'm rapping live against sort of my opponent. But yeah, I haven't actually done like a real in-person live battle.
Yeah, it's a different beast, man. Like, to tell you the God's honest truth, my opponent down there, okay, who's super fire, by the way, I almost feel shitty that it's online. Like, I want to battle this guy in person. That's how how good he is. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, to me, like that's a look. You know what I mean? I respect this guy.
That's the trouble with the fucking big ass country that you motherfuckers have got. See, if you lived in England, like, even in England, that's bad enough. Like, if I got to go and battle up north, to me, that's like, what? I'm like, fuck, man, I'm going to go the other side of the country. I'm going to be driving all day just to get to the venue. You motherfuckers have to get on planes and go fucking miles from state to state and all that shit. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like,
yeah.
I gotta drive 12. I have to drive 12 hours, but that's just what it says to get to Denver from Arizona, and it's one state away. It's next state over. 12 hours to get there for my Battle for Cali Smooth 2 weeks.
Bro, that's crazy. And then you got rap for like
I'm a sport the whole time.
8 minutes.
I'm not even gonna hold you guys, man. Like, this dude's a problem. Lost. I'm not even playing. Oh man, definitely problematic.
I want to try and refocus. I want to do a bit of problem solving. So what I want everyone to do is tell me about a battle where you think you got snaked for the judgment and what happened. Why you got snaked for? Why the judgment?
I got one. I can remember.
All my first battles.
I want to see what our resolution could be to stop that from happening again. Yeah, Ritz.
I already know what mine was. Mine was my second battle I ever did. You guys can watch it. It was Ritz versus King G Child. It was in black and white. Okay. But the consensus was this was my second battle in the east side of Cleveland. I'm one of two white guys in the building. People really didn't know me, but people weren't giving me any credit. Like, my first half of my round was a 1-rounder, but I was saying some crazy shit, and then people are like, like I had a couple people standing with me like, man, are y'all sleeping, man? And then out of nowhere, my round picked up a little bit more, and by the end of it, they loved me. But they gave the win to the other guy, which I thought we had a great battle. It was a great back and forth. I just felt like I said more and I outperformed him. I just
was he like? Well, did he have all his mates there? Was he like local to the area?
Everybody knew who he was. He was more of a, and they knew him from the streets too. You know what I mean? So he was a bigger name, a little bit more. He was much more well known than me. So it's not like I was going in there. It's just, I think if it was just strictly down to bars and performance, I thought I'd take it. And actually, I have the consensus win on YouTube. I just didn't win in the building. And it was for this, it was a New Blood title. We were all racing for this belt, basically, that we had. And I got kicked out early on. So
what do you reckon should be done about that? I reckon, maybe they should do one judgment at the live event, and then maybe do the second judgment after online where people can
not only that though, hold on, I wanted to say one more thing. Not only that, you have to know what kind of crowd you're in front of.
That's what it is. Nothing can happen. That's the only thing that could change the outcome.
Yeah. So if I would have known a little bit better what the crowd tends to more, I would have done more. So like Cleveland is a crowd where they like to hear violence and jokes. Okay.
Violent jokes.
Well,
Island has jokes.
I did a little bit more. I did a little bit more, but I'm a white guy, so I'm telling white jokes. Okay. In a way to them. Do you see what I'm saying? So I had to be a little
you
more.
Was telling Seinfeld when you were supposed to be
right.
telling
I was talking exactly. I was doing Golden Girls when I should have been talking about Living Single. See what I'm saying? Like.
Now here's my thing with that. This is my thing. Now everyone does that. Everyone's like, oh, you got to know what crowd you got to cater for. But then, no offense, fuck the crowd. Like,
no, you can't say fuck the crowd. They're the ones judging you, bro.
No, but that's the whole thing. In experience,
you have to be real.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that. The things that you'll learn, the things that they hold against you, and the things that they take as your weaknesses or things that people prod at. The same points that people like to make on you. I'm an old New Yorker or whatever. Coach, you use it as your strength. If you don't know how to use it as your strength yet, or have a defense already built in for those things, you're gonna lose in a place that's not your home because people are looking for that, and that they're just looking for those things to get hit on, and you lose. So it's like you just have to learn how to be, like you said, that's how you be yourself, but still.
Fun fact though, I won every battle out of town.
Where you're rapping,
away from home, I never lost a battle.
I've never had a home event. So
I've lost more battles than New York once.
I started on a league, and I was the away battler, and they had their home dude, and I bodied him, and I got the win. Then I had another battle with one of their other dudes, and then I battled because we went into a competition, and I got to the semi-finals against the league owner, and the whole shit changed. They did me dirty. The politics was fucking crazy. So I even said in the battle, I knew that I was going to get robbed on my decision. And he ghost ripped from one of my previous opponents before, which obviously he's meant to be running the league, and then he's writing for my ops and shit like that. So I had loads of spicy shit in there as well as bars. I beat him in every single category. But where the dude runs the league, I ain't getting zero reaction from nobody because everybody there's a fucking battler or the battler's friend, and it's like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, watch back now, and I'm cooking, and everybody's like.
Benny, listen, my first three battles were the same thing. You go back to my first three battles is Flo Colombo, Black, and then Mastermind. All three of them, I feel like I won all three of those battles. But you look back and you see the reaction, people holding it back. And then what happened is time passed and real credible people started watching. It's like they look stupid. They look stupid. Absolutely. They fucking up the footage because they look dumb and it makes their league look shit. So what happened is my fourth battle was against Benny Loke, and everybody exploded and shit like that. And also I started by talking to the crowd, like, this is who y'all got him winning. Like, so it made them, I forced them to fuck.
That's important to do too, though. I used to actually start my round, and I don't anymore. But when I first started, early, I used to start off my battles with before I get into this battle, I want to have what's called real talk with y'all, because my slogan was real talk, real movement. You know, and
Yeah,
I would
gets the crowd involved right away.
exactly. I got the crowd involved right away, and that's something I got to get back to a little bit more, especially on stage, because you're engaging with them. You know, or
stage as well is quite. You can sway the crowd as well. I've seen a lot, especially international battles when they come over, where you if you drop.
But there's nothing worse than engaging. There's nothing worse than engaging the crowd and having the bar flop, because that's all they'll talk about.
Nothing worse than you coming out, right, and saying every bar, every 2 bars is a bomb, fire, dope ass lines. Then the person comes out and says like 8 bars of nothing and says 1 line, and everybody goes crazy. It's like, oh, what the fuck? It's like,
bro,
you know.
I see this all the time, and this is the shit that I don't like. It puts me off of fucking with legs. It puts me off of battle rap in general. It's like a popularity.
Watch my Mastermind battle. I love Mastermind.
Oh, this is why you have to know
because he's young, and I'm helping, you know, the people in my city, the state I'm battling in. You have to give these people shots and stuff because I'm a vet, so it helps them. Whatever. So I don't when they say they win, I don't try to like be a bitch about it, but right in their face, I'll tell you I won. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna cry about it later on. The film does it. Video doesn't lie.
Yeah, the footage and the bars is the footage. That's what I'm saying. That's how I look at things. The worst one I ever had was Rude in bars. That was the worst by a mile. So
Royalty?
I did a vote for who people thought they won, and I had 28 votes to each one. If you go on the comments of the battle, all the comments is saying I won. They ain't even nobody saying, like, people saying I bodied though, like everybody's saying. And then Bars went and fucking give a judgment who's had me blocked for the last year. I couldn't see that dude was going to judge because he's got me blocked. And then all of a sudden he gives some fucked up verdict where he says he nicked it by a hairline and I lost the battle. No, well, that's what my...
You're going to have some situations. Some situations are going to be like that, but that's why, like when he was saying how important it is to know what kind of crowd you're rapping in front of, if you don't want to learn that, that's an issue, because you have to do that, because I'm
from New York, and everything is very aggressive and straight to the point. We're blunt. We get to the point quick. But in Arizona, people like to warm up to that stuff, and they like you to be in like hardcore is not hardcore. It's more satirical. Like, I shoot. I shoot. You know what I mean? So you have to like.
It is different.
They weren't taking my aggression in my first 2 battles. I had to learn how to say a joke first. Like, you didn't see this funny guy? Well, I'll punch him in his face. Like, mix it. I had to learn, and it created. Obviously, it created my own. It created a style for me too. But I didn't want to rap like that, to be honest. I wanted to be bang, 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 bang. But you're right. You have to know.
That's exactly how I got my style too. That's how I'm an unorthodox style.
Dumb shit down now. That's something that pissed me off, and that I had to do. From when I first started, I was talking about quantum mechanics and boom, and then all of a sudden you got to like break it down. People saying a lot of my shit is going over heads, and it still does now. While I try and make shit so intricate and put so many little punches in there with the schemes and stuff, there's only certain people like that have got the ears to catch that shit. Do you get what I'm saying? And then, like when you say you get someone that just says something that everyone gets because they ain't got that brain span and they go crazy.
Well,
it's like
it's like that. You have to find the right platform that likes the type of shit that does that, who likes that. Exactly. You have to find the right spot that fucks with that, and then you'll be golden.
I like iBattle because because the fans, not only the fans, but the people that are there, they like and know everything. Because everybody,
they know what's going on in the culture, all that shit.
Yeah.
I battled in 3 different cities for iBattle, and all 3 of them, everybody was like queued in.
I battled Correality out there. I had a 2-on-2 out there against Wes Craven Nova, and then I also had I faced Bars McVeigh, which never dropped.
Oh, okay, I remember. I've seen that. Yeah, they're on all my battles are on iBattle. Those 3, I have 3 of them on it.
Yeah, mine were all on Stalin. They didn't have it out here yet.
My New York one with D-Loc, I did really, really well. Got really good reaction the whole way through. Basically, it was really good.
All right.
Just trying to refocus. We've got 8 minutes on this session. We'll start another one in a minute. But what can
What's
we?
happening, Ghost? Is that Ghost Gunner?
You guys like being
Is that
judges?
what we got in?
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
hate
like-
to
I don't
judge.
mind.
I don't mind.
like
judging.
it.
I've
I
got a
like
scorecard.
judging.
I'll sit there and I'll go.
I don't mind critiquing somebody, but at the same time, I don't like to judge because I don't like to feel. I'm a rapper myself, so it's kind of hard for me to like. I don't want to put myself above anybody, and I feel like I do that sometimes if I'm saying someone lost, but I'm really not because I'm non-biased. I don't care if I like you or don't
Yeah,
like you.
You
I
do
don't
that
like
all
doing
the
this,
way
doing
anyway,
stories
you little
and
prick.
stuff.
You're well fucking. Yeah, he's like, yeah, you guys wasn't bad, but it was trash.
Facts. You got to give it. No, I'm saying if you have a bunch of yes men around you, man, it ain't gonna do you no good.
I think it's
That's
all
right, you know,
constructive. I
they
think
do
that's the
like,
problem. When you get someone who just shits on you, basically. I mean, it's got to be constructive. I don't care if you said I lost, but if you went, oh, you know what I mean. If you'd come a bit harder on this, or if you'd done a bit more of that, then I probably would have edged it to you, be like, all right.
Like I didn't give a huge breakdown between you and who was that? Andre Gordon. What's his name? Mayhem.
Oh, I know I lost that.
Yeah, and I said that you had lost, but at the same time, at least I did somewhat of a breakdown why. You know, I thought what you could do better and what I liked from him, and what I mean? Like that's cool, but like some people can't take it and they take it personal.
I don't like judging because I literally make the opposite decision of every popular decision that I see online.
You like
Every
him?
judge, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? What? So, yeah.
So what I do when I judge, I usually watch the battle 3, 4, 5, like at least 3, 4 times, maybe 5 times. I literally watch it, pick
Wow.
everything out, and then I write down all the pointers on either side, and then I go by the scorecard, and then I write it all down, I pick out all the good bars, and then after I say what I'd like to see different from them, or what I think.
Yeah.
I judge as I watch it because I'm going off a natural reaction.
And then it's the second time that I watch it is when I start picking up on the bias. The thing. That's why I said the good thing about online battles, you can watch it a few times. So the first
True.
time I watch it, I'll be like, yeah, I got him for the win. But then when the second time I watch it and I'm actually listening to the bars, I'm like, actually, I think the other guy did. That's why
that does happen.
To actually.
Well, you know what? I think the reason why I do it like that though is just because I'm so used to be battling live that I treat it like as if I was in the building.
It's whoever rocked it best at the time.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question about the battle. Is it possible to edit your old video when you're doing a video? Because I don't do video battles. I want to do something where like every line is kind of punched in from like I think that'll be fire.
Yeah, do you want to take multiple videos and run them back to back?
Yeah, it's just like as the like
you can do
different
that.
angles pop out for every. I don't know, just be make it interesting.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Yeah, you can do loads of shit. You get
Yeah?
yeah,
oh yeah.
You can do loads of shit on it.
I'm
I
actually.
didn't know that was allowed. I didn't know that was allowed.
That's funny you said that. I'm in the middle of doing one
I didn't know that was allowed. I'm gonna make
because
that,
I was.
after I battle Kelly Smooth, I'll make this very interesting. Though.
Well, not like that though. It's somewhat same kind of format, but like I'm more or less running them into each other, like you said. I'm trying to actually take bars that I had from certain battles and trying to run them off into like the next one, like I led into it. That's hard to do too.
Like a follow on from the previous bar, sort of things.
Like somehow they connected.
Last battle, this time it's gonna get deeper. Like, I mean, like just referencing back, and then like I'm gonna take that a step further. I've done that.
Yeah,
before, like in the last battle, I said that I'll do this. This time, I'm going even harder. I've done sort of similar things like before. Right? That's what I mean. You can get it to link. If you, especially if it's in the same, league, you know what I mean. You got the same people watching.
Yeah.
The last battle. But obviously, if you haven't seen the last battle, it's not gonna. You know what I mean. It work as well. You might. No, people will still get it as long as you lay it out right. But yeah, that's the good thing. As long as it's in the same league, you can get away with it because it's like Remember what I battled a few people called Damien.
Well, I actually, to let you guys know too, are you guys familiar with Anchor at all?
Who?
Anchor, it's a podcast platform.
This is what this is going on. All of these are on Anchor. Yeah.
I was on Anchor. Okay, cool. So like, I'm actually running through Anchor too, but I'm going to be having a podcast on caffeine, which I just got approved for on Caffeine TV. which is going to be basically it's going to be it's going to be Run It Back with Ritz rap review. Okay, and that's basically the whole thing is going to be just breaking down bars and doing interviews and stuff like that. But breaking down bars like for people as more of a like.
Into it, man, in that way, right? It's all about. Like I said,
So,
that's what I want
you guys definitely come on, man.
That's the whole idea. Is all create a supporting place where everyone jumps on everyone's shit and just help you promote each other. It's only
Oh, absolutely. That's what it's all about, man. You know, I want real support too. I'd rather have one real supporter than 1,000 people saying that they support me.
yeah, but don't.
Jim Rohn.
Let's-
Jim
let's
Rohn
go
said
read
that.
it. We've got 2 minutes left, and we'll have to start the next one, which is around 2 minutes. But I went into this. The little thing that I've started doing, you know, it's costing me like 15 quid, 20 quid a month, depending on people price of people's albums. But buying 2 albums each month of people that I know in battle rap, just trying to do a little bit of supporting.
Oh, that's fine. It's a fire idea, bro.
So I brought 2 albums recently. I brought Expos or XP, whatever you want to call him. I bought his one, and Snug Robinson. I bought his one. 2 fire albums, but like I said,
I got merchandise, bro. I got swimming trunks. You want some fucking Ritz Bish swimming trunks, bro?
I ain't walking around with no banana.
No, I don't have those though. No, I got
Bitch banana hammock.
no, but no. I do have
Ritz on your dick.
some cracker shit right there, man.
Oh, no.
That's right.
Literally wants Ritz on everyone's dick.
The logo going down the front. Ritz bitch going down the front.
No, but I really do have clothing and shit out
We'll send the link to it and
I'll let you see.
I'm
With
going to
the,
start the next one in 10 to 15 minutes once this one's downloaded. I'll send the link back out.
all right.
We'll end this one and then we'll go on to part 2.
So.
In a
The other side.